First, self-introduction. We are security analysts from Entity Security Holdings. Our company provides stock service, and we are engaged in threat research, malware analysis, and custom signature creation for EDR and network security product. We often research attacks against Asian countries, including Japan. In this presentation, we will talk about FirePeony, an APT group that is conducting attacks on Asian countries. Okay, let's dive into specific contents. First, we will introduce about the overview of FirePeony. I don't think anyone knows about FirePeony. This is the name we gave it, so it is not generally known, but SharpPanda is widely known instead. Since the blog post was published by Checkpoint in 2021, FirePeony has been reported from time to time. FirePeony primarily targets Southeast Asian countries. In particular, it has repeatedly attacked governmental organizations in Vietnam and Thailand. One of the characteristics of FirePeony is that it has used the RoyalRoad RTF Weaponizer. RoyalRoad RTF Weaponizer is a tool known to be shared by the China-nexus APT groups, but it is hardly used these days. One of the few existing users is FirePeony. FirePeony is also known to use its own malware. For example, 5.t downloader, Victory DLL, and Soul Framework. Additionally, and most interestingly, FirePeony has recently started targeting outside of East Asia. They have targeted a wide range of areas, including Japan and European countries. First, let's take a look back at FirePeony's past attack cases. Here we only list what we know, so in reality, these would have been more attack cases. As far as we know, the oldest attack case was in Vietnam in May 2021. It is believed to have targeted Communist Party officials in Vietnam. Since then, attacks on Vietnamese government organizations have continued. Similarly, attacks against Southeast Asian countries have been occurred. For example, attacks have been confirmed against Thailand and Indonesia. As such, FirePeony has continued to target government organizations in South Asian countries since 2021. But things changed completely in 2023. In May 2023, the attack against G7 and G20 government organizations was observed. And the attack targeting Japan has also observed. These changes in targeting are noteworthy. Let's look at 3 attack cases observed in 2023. The first case was an attack targeting forest-related organization in Vietnam. The originating email is unknown, but from then on, it's a typical FirePeony attack flow. When a user opens a docx file that appears to be an email attachment, the template settings from an RTF file from an external website. This RTF file is generated by RoyalRoad RTF Weaponizer. When Microsoft Word wrote this RTF file, it exploits vulnerability in the equation editor. If exploited, the shellcode would decrypt the data contained in the RTF file and write it to the file. This is 5.t downloader. The shellcode executes 5.t downloader via task scheduler. 5.t downloader sends the user's environmental information to the CNC server. If the attacker decides the user is a target, additional malware will be executed. The decoy document file is like this. It is written in Vietnamese. The content looks like a resume template for police officer. This docx file has the template settings. If you open the settings.xml.res, you can see the template URL. Although the extension is PNG, but it is actually an RTF file. This RTF file is generated by RoyalRoad RTF Weaponizer. Contains malicious code that exploits a vulnerability in the equation editor. If a user opens this file in vulnerable Microsoft Office, the vulnerability can be exploited. As a result, it decrypts the encrypted data contained in the RTF file and writes to the file. This file is file.t download. Additionally, the shellcode uses task scheduler to execute file.t download. File.t download sends the user's environmental information to CNC server. The attacker receives that information and decides whether the user is a target. If the user is a target, file.t downloader downloads and executes additional malware. Next, the second case. This attack case is also a typical FirePeony attack flow. The origin of this attack was identified as email file. The body of the email was like this. The text may be small and difficult to read, but the email is being sent from the email address of the UK governmental shelter for the G20 Indonesian Bali Summit. These are a large number of destinations set, specifically G7 and G20 governments such as the UK, Germany, and France. The email has a docx file attached. The email is signed by Indonesia's Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Ministry for Economic Affairs. The attached docx file was the content of the discussion at the G7 Hiroshima Summit. Looking at docx file's metadata, we suspect it was created several days before the email was sent. Also, the name recorded as creator and last updater are Japanese name. They are actually actual Ministry of Foreign Affairs employees. In fact, the PDF version of this document is publicly available on Japanese governmental website. But in our investigation, we could not publicly discover the original docx file of the PDF file. In other words, we think that this docx file is a private file created by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Japan. This docx file had template settings similar to case 1. This RTF file is loaded externally as a template file. And finally, the file.t downloader is executed. Let's look at the third case. This is the most recent attack case that we know of. What we know about the attack is very small. Opening the RoyalRoad RTF file located on Cloudflare workers will execute the file.t downloader. The body of the RTF file was written in Japanese. This content is not political. It was a copy-paste of news post about Japanese martial arts. We have no idea what it was chosen as a decoy. To date, we have analyzed over 100 attacks using RoyalRoad RTF, but Japanese decoy files or attacks against Japan are extremely rare. We only know of a few other examples from a few years ago. So far, we have introduced an overview of FirePeony and recent attack cases. FirePeony has been targeting Southeast Asian countries for 2 years, but since this year, that trend has changed. Why are they expanding their targets? There is a similar case with FirePeony. It's Mustang Panda. Mustang Panda is a well-known APT group that has been around for quite some time. Mustang Panda has traditionally targeted Southeast Asian countries. it was also one of the groups that used the RoyalRoad RTF Weaponizer around 2018. But from around 2021, they began to expand their targets. In other words, in addition to Southeast Asian countries, they began targeting European countries. Several security researchers have written reports on this. It is generally believed that this was caused by Russia-Ukraine conflict, and the purpose is to collect information related to this conflict. So, what about FirePeony? FirePeony, like Mustang Panda, has also targeted Southeast Asian countries. The use of RoyalRoad RTF Weaponizer also overlaps. Please remember case 2. The decoy theme is related to G7 Hiroshima Summit. At the G7 Hiroshima Summit, discussions were held regarding security and economy and Russia-Ukraine conflict. We think the situation is similar to Mustang Panda. This means that when it comes to matters of national importance, even APT groups responsible for a particular region may change their targets and priorities. Regarding this discussion, it will be necessary to pay close attention to the future trends of FirePeony. We think FirePeony is likely no longer a threat only to Southeast Asian countries. More organizations may be targeted in the future.
So I will introduce the tool used by FirePeony. First up is the RoyalRoad RTF Weaponizer. So this has been briefly explained before, but I will go into more detail. So RoyalRoad RTF Weaponizer is a tool for creating malicious RTF file. The RTF file exploits equation editor vulnerability. These vulnerabilities are old, so it's rarely used by malicious actors now. Many attacks using RoyalRoad RTF have been observed since 2017. Several China-nexus APT groups are known to share this tool, including APT40, Goblin Panda, Tick, Tonto, and so on. Many groups use it, but as these details were published and further vulnerabilities became old, so this tool gradually fell out of use. FirePeony is one of few APT groups still using this today. So here is the basic behavior of RoyalRoad RTF. When a user opens the RTF file, malicious code is loaded and exploits a vulnerability in the equation editor. If the user's environment is vulnerable, shellcode is executed. The shellcode first writes the encrypted malware to a file. At this point, most cases the file name 8.t was used. That's why the RoyalRoad RTF is sometimes called 8.t dropper. The shellcode then loads the exported 8.t and decrypts it. This decryption process is different by version and group. It's often a simple 1-byte XOR or RC4 and so on. Finally, the decrypted malware is executed. If you want to know more detail, please check the blog written by Naosek. So I will introduce the behavior of RoyalRoad RTF by FirePeony. The basic behavior is the same as before. One major difference is how the malware is executed. Most RoyalRoad RTF shellcode simply executes the decrypted malware. However, FirePeony uses a task scheduler to execute the malware. This process is not seen in other groups of RoyalRoad RTFs. So this is a summary of FirePeony specific behavior. First of all, the malware decryption process. In the early days of FirePeony, decryption was performed using RC4 with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as a key. Later, the key was changed, but RC4 is still used today. Second, the output file name. Many RoyalRoad RTF use the file name 8.t. However, the earliest FirePeony used the file name 5.t. This is why naming of 5.t downloader is the unique malware name used by FirePeony. But recently, random names are used. So finally, there is how the malware is executed. As mentioned earlier, FirePeony uses a task scheduler to execute malware. Such processing has not been observed outside of FirePeony. This is very interesting because they are not simply using the same tool as that has been around for many years, but there are updates by FirePeony itself. As mentioned in the recent attack case, but FirePeony uses a template injection. In the case of attack using RoyalRoad RTF, most attack groups launch their attacks using the RTF file by itself, like case 1. However, FirePeony does not use RTFs by themselves. So case 2, in most cases, the template function of the docx file is used, as described earlier. When the user opens the docx file, the RoyalRoad RTF is loaded as a template file. In rare cases, the template function may also be used from RTF file, like case 3. There is a rare case of loading RTF file from the other RTF file. A great report about template injection with RTF has been written by Proofpoint. You can see it for more detail. So next, we introduce 5.t downloader. We think it's an original downloader by FirePeony because the 5.t downloader is always used in FirePeony RoyalRoad attacks. This downloader collects user information, encrypts it with RC4 plus base 64, and then sends it to the CNC server. It's believed that the attacker checks the information sent by this downloader, and if the infected host is the target, backdoor will be downloaded. So we analyzed several 5.t downloaders we observed. And the slide shows a timeline of each downloader based on compile time. The encryption algorithm has not changed since the downloader in 2021, but RC4 keywords has changed each time. In addition, the host information to be obtained has also been changed since September 2021, and the number of export functions is increased. The API and the code itself are being obfuscated, and we can see changes that make it more difficult to analyze as time goes on. Although compile time can be changed by threat actor, but the data is trustworthy because the downloader is evolving with the compile time. This backdoor are reported by Checkpoint. There are very few observed cases. The loader is downloaded from 5.t downloader introduced earlier and execute, and the loader launch victory DLL in memory. So this is Soul framework, backdoor that is also downloaded and executed by 5.t downloader. Soul framer consists of a loader called Soul Searcher and a backdoor called Soul Backdoor. It has been observed since around 2017 and is characterized by storing payload and the configurations in the registry and loading them from there. So far, we have introduced FirePeony's attack trends and their tools. So, who exactly is FirePeony behind attack cases? Let's take a closer look behind the scene. A blog post published by Checkpoint in 2021 described an operational error by FirePeony. According to this blog post, it appears that FirePeony made a mistake in the public configuration of the file on the server. This reveals that access logs were being logged during communication with the C&C server by 5.t downloader. Based on information provided by Checkpoint, we discovered a log file on the C&C server of 5.t downloader observed in January 2023. After analyzing the log files, we found that C&C server was running at UTC plus 7. UTC plus 7 is used in several countries, most notably known as ITC, Indochina time. This C&C server was used in attacks against Vietnam, which has adopted ITC. It's possible that the time on the C&C server is set to match the target environment. The logs also recorded a large number of accesses, but the first log is particularly noteworthy. The logs recorded access time, but this log was clearly earlier and farther away from the other logs. Moreover, it came from John, that is a computer name. This name is identical to the last updater of docx file used in this attack. Is it really coincidence? No, we don't think so. This log was mostly accessed by threat actor. So if you are interested in this log file, please contact us. We are glad to share this file. There are many other indicators to focus on. In this section, we will focus specifically on the overlap with TAZ-16. TAZ-16 is a China-nexus APT group with several aliases. They use the RoyalRoad RTF to target and attack Southeast Asia. However, with the coming of FirePeony, attacks by TAZ-16 were no longer observed. Our research indicates that the 5.t downloader C&C server initially used by FirePeony and the TAZ-16 indicator reported by Recorded Future overlap. We believe that these two groups are in the same or close relationship because of the overlap in target and attack methods. So now we will organize information about FirePeony using the diamond model. FirePeony, also known as SharpPanda, is a China-nexus APT group. It has been active since at least 2021. Targets are mainly government agencies in Southeast Asia, such as Vietnam and Thailand. However, since the beginning of 2023, they have started change target countries such as Europe and Japan. They send spear phishing emails to target and inject template from the attached docx file. This caused RoyalRoad RTF to be loaded and exploit a vulnerability in the equation editor, As a result, it runs FirePeony specific malware called 5.t downloader. 5.t downloader also execute additional malware such as Victory DLL and Sol Framework. In this case, the C&C server uses infrastructure similar to many other China-nexus APT groups, such as Chopper and OVH. Additionally, they have also been observed using Cloudflare workers. So, in this presentation, we introduce the history of FirePeony, recent attack case and attribution of threat actor. FirePeony has been targeting Southeast Asia countries such as Vietnam and Thailand, but now it's targeting countries such as Europe and Japan. This trend is likely to continue. In other words, it's unknown who the target will be. We should keep an eye on their future trends. So that's all our presentation. Do you have any question? Please contact us.